Extinction Rebellion protesters have descended on central London this weekend. Between 40 and 50,000 environmental activists are expected to be in the city across 4 days.
The large-scale protest coincides with the London Marathon, which will be taking place tomorrow, and Extinction Rebellion are describing it as the big one, a name associated with Fairground Ride. So are we going to be left feeling queasy after 4 days of protest? Well,
we're joined now by Verel Rodrigues, an Extinction Rebellion climate activist. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Extinction Rebellion said that they'd changed their tack. They weren't going to disrupt the public. But yesterday, we were in Westminster. The roads were closed. The people were right across the road. The police were having to stop traffic. So this idea of not disrupting the public, that didn't last very long, did it?
Well, so thank you, Phil and Esther, for having me on. Happy Earth Day, by the way. Yeah, I just want to start by saying that we've got more than 200 organisations, movements and businesses that have joined us this time. And we have worked with the Met Police, we have worked with the marathon organisers as well to minimise disruption as much as possible. We have changed our tactics this time from, like, we used to do roadblocks before. We've changed that now. We want to have a different working relationship with organisations, and we want to work and, yeah, we've moved our tactics from being disruptive to something that is building a wider coalition with movements.
So you're the sensible older brother now with Extinction Rebellion, but Just Stop Oil, that'll also be there, is your naughty sibling, as it were. 2 of those Just Stop Oil people were sentenced yesterday to just under 3 years in prison. So bringing all these together, you're just going to say when disruption happens, oh, it was nothing to do with us? Well, yeah. It's going to happen, and you're going to say it's nothing to do with us.
Well, we can't really control what other groups are going to do, but
you've invited them all together as the big one.
Yes, but and I think I can go as far as I can say is that we're going to do our best to even guard the marathon from any disruption, because all the people that are running for the marathon are running for good causes. They're running to raise money for charity, and we might even have people from Extinction Rebellion running the marathon as well. So we wouldn't want it to be disrupted.
Why have you changed tack? Why have you gone from this sort of disruption and blocking roads and whatever? Why have you made a decision as a group that you want to change? Is it because you felt that you were losing public support through these activities?
That's a really good question. I think what we've managed to sort of galvanise and engage like a minority of the population, but what we need now is the majority of the population to get on board, to get on our side, support our cause, and demand an end to new oil and gas projects. We've already seen last year in London, we've seen temperatures rise to go to about 40 degrees Celsius. We had wildfires in London. We had Can
I say, people probably would come on board, but weren't you disappointed too, like surely your supporters, when you saw one of your founders, Dr. Gail Bradbrook, who was shopping in Waitrose, buying food from 3 different continents, driving in a diesel car? I mean, the hypocrisy of your organisation. So surely that loses everybody. You might have changed tack, but actually it's very much a do as I say, not as I do, and that is your founder.
So I think, like, the main thing to understand is that, like, we are all not perfect, and we are asking for a systemic change to the issues that we're facing. We're asking for an end to fossil fuel projects.
Her words were, every part of society must act now to reduce greenhouse emissions, unless, I think she should have finished that sentence off, you're me. Because I'm not living by that. But she's roped you in.
Unfortunately, we are all in this system that's designed to be, designed to. We don't really have another choice. We don't really have other solutions in place. But this is what we're calling for. We're calling for other organisations and movements to come together and have a citizen-led approach to finding the right way forward, to ending the fossil fuel era, to an era of transformation. And keeping our differences aside, and this is one of the things I want to say, really, just like we've got differences, but we need to come together. We need to come together and form a coalition, and
The bit I think that most people struggle with is that the UK is responsible for less than 1% of global carbon emissions. If we spent the £1.3 trillion that we haven't got, that it's estimated to cost us to get to net zero, I mean, it won't make any difference at all to global temperatures. China's carbon emissions, the total of China's carbon emissions, is more than the UK, the EU and the United States combined. So us getting to net zero isn't going to make a blind bit of difference to global temperature. So why do you not focus your protests in China and see how you get on over there?
I think that's a really good question, Philip. the UK is supposed to be a climate leader worldwide, and we see other countries following what the UK is doing. We were the first country. We had the Parliament that declared a climate emergency and set the 2050 net zero target. And we saw other countries also follow suit in that case. Over here, we have the opportunity to end oil and gas. We are a rich nation. We can do it. And, we've seen other countries like Scotland, for example, has 98% renewable energy. Costa Rica is almost 100% renewable energy. So we can make the necessary changes now to move away from fossil fuels.
Verel Rodrigues, thank you so much indeed for coming in and taking the time to join us this morning. We appreciate it.